Everywhere Jose has been, everywhere Antonio Conte has been, they've won trophies.
Yeah.
Apart from at Spurs.
That tells you. That maybe it's the ambition at the football club. Maybe it's. I mean, they seem to miss out on key signings. I can't remember. The one that jumps to the top of my head was that I remember they were in. I did twice actually, 2. I swear they were in for Fernandes, and he went to United.
Bruno Fernandes, yes, correct, 100%.
And the one Luis Diaz.
Yeah,
they were in for Luis Diaz as well.
There's a long list. Willian had a medical.
Yeah.
He had a Spurs medical, and then turned it down and went to Chelsea.
One.
Go on.
Roman Abramovich.
That's right. Well, yeah, but if Chelsea wouldn't have scored that goal to get in the Champions League,
maybe, but still.
But you're right. Yeah.
It's. I'll tell you what's going on with Spurs. I don't quite know, but something has to change because.
Why don't any of the players? Any of the managers being linked to the job? Why don't they want the job? Is it because when they sit down with Daniel Levy, they realise how little control they'll have over the players coming in?
Well, it must be. It has to be that because. It's a big football club. It's a massive football club. You've got the best stadium. You've got the best training ground. You've got a good squad of players there. I'm not saying that they're top level, but you've got Son, class, Kane, Clark. You've got players there. Romero, World Cup winner, although he's a bit rash. You've got good players there, but for whatever reason, these managers just don't want the job. Now, the only thing for me, it must be in the interview room. There must be a process where they're getting to a certain point and they're having a conversation with Daniel Levy and there's something they don't like, or they don't like what they're hearing, and then they turn away. Because if you can't, Nagelsmann, obviously one of the best up-and-coming coaches. We heard about Arne Slot, how good he is, just won the Dutch league.
Yeah, but also with Nagelsmann, you're going to get him. There's longevity there. It's not like you're getting a manager that's like 65 and you think, he's getting on.
Do you know
what?
I almost feel like it's a little bit. I don't know if Daniel Levy and Spurs know exactly what they want. Do they want a manager to come in and rebuild? But I think they're scared. They're so scared of maybe getting left behind while they do this rebuild. They panic and go, no, do you know what? No, we don't need that. We need a manager that's ready to go now. And then they're like, well, yeah, we haven't got the squad. Okay, let's start the rebuild. I think they're so worried about what's going on around them. Brighton are coming. Villa have come above them. Do you know what I mean? It's
Newcastle
almost like
flying.
Newcastle are flying. What do we do? Do we rebuild or do we just get a manager that's a proven winner? Now, what do we do? And I think they're a little bit caught in between.
Do they have a problem as well that whatever manager they now approach, that manager knows they're not first, second, third, or even fourth choice?
Yeah, of course. But no, you say that.
Yeah.
But I think this is when it comes to Premier League jobs. And I understand what you're saying. If I was the third, fourth, or fifth, I don't think it really matters where you're on the list. If you get the opportunity, you have to just take it. You know what I mean? You have to show them the hierarchy. I should have been number one choice. So if that's Brendan Rodgers, go in there, do something, win something, play good football. If it's Postecoglou from Celtic, when you get in there, you have to prove to people, well, this is why I've got the job.
But with Postecoglou, I understand that Levy thinks he's too old. With Nagelsmann, he thinks he's too young.
Where are these reports coming from? Because that's ridiculous.
That is nuts.
It's nuts.
You mentioned, going back to a name you just mentioned, Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, I like him. You know how much I like Brendan.
Yeah, you're a big fan of his.
Big fan of his.
Why haven't they appointed
I don't
him?
know.
Why haven't they gone in for him?
Because he, for me, would be perfect. Plays attacking football.
Yeah.
I get it. It sometimes goes a bit stale towards the end, which I hold my hands up. I understand that. But look what he did in his pomp at Leicester. 2 fifth-place finishes. Yes, maybe should have got 4th, 5th with Leicester. Winning the FA Cup in the manner in which they did. Nearly won the league with Liverpool. I know people talk about the Gerrard slip, but it was close. Done great things at Celtic. I really like watching these teams play, so I don't understand why he's not been approached by a Tottenham.
Do you think with Brendan, do you feel a bit, not sorry for him, maybe that's not the right phrase, but the fact that Leicester virtually ran out of money because of what was happening during COVID times?
Yeah, of course.
That they couldn't back him as much as they wanted to.
The players that they wanted, but I still think Brendan Rodgers is a fantastic manager. I get it went badly at Leicester, but Leicester fans will still say the first early part of Brendan Rodgers' tenure at Leicester was a massive, massive success.
Yeah. You think Spurs fans want Brendan Rodgers? Or are they getting to the point now it's just...
I don't think they know who they want.
What happens if they appoint maybe 2 or 3 more and they can't get their man through the door? Will they stick with Ryan Mason?
Potentially. I'm not even sure how much he would want the job.
Oh, he would. He loves Spurs. He would want that.
I know
he would want that.
He does, but it's a bit of a circus. You don't want your first job in management, proper job in management, to be that type of circus, because you might not recover from that.
Do you think as well with potential managers, do you think they look at the Spurs job and think, what manager has left Spurs on the up? Has it happened before?
Pochettino's probably the only one. Went to PSG.
Yeah, okay. Is that the only one?
It's the only one I can think of.
That's terrible, isn't it?
But then Jose went on, he won trophies.
Yeah, but Jose was established already.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying is these guys have gone to Spurs, not won anything, and you know full well when Conte gets another job, he's winning something.
Yeah. I do feel, in this case, I do feel sorry for the Spurs fans. I always feel sorry for the football fan. But Spurs fans, I mean, everyone keeps going on about their stadium. I get it. It's an unbelievable. So I've been there a couple of times.
The training ground is phenomenal.
Yeah, fantastic. But Spurs fans don't really care about that. They just want... All Spurs fans would take an awful training ground, go back to White Hart Lane if it meant there was stability.
Go back to, where did we... Luxborough Lane. That's where we used to train.
Yeah, but they'd all take that.
Yeah.
Where's that, in Cheshunt?
That's in Chigwell.
All right, they had one before that in Cheshunt. But anyway, they'd all take that to go back to their winning ways.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant to the football fan. Oh, they've got great training facilities. It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
And what about Graham Potter? Would they take him? See, I think these are the managers they need to look at.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Brendan,
someone
Potter,
be given time and build.
But that's the thing. If they're going to get a manager like Potter or Brendan, they have to say, listen, it's going to take time, fans. It might be a bit frustrating, but in the end, we will get there. But if it's 6 months and they sack him, they're back to square one.
Why won't an owner of a club put his faith in the manager and allow the manager to bring in the players he needs? I've never understood that.
No, because you know what? It's been successful at other clubs. When you look at Brighton's recruitment and Brentford, oh my goodness, Brighton, I've heard it. Brighton, someone said to me, Brighton are 10 years ahead of anyone else in the league when it comes to recruitment.
Really?
10 years in terms of the way they find players.
From?
I read it in an article in The Athletic, I think.
All right.
10 years.
That's nuts.
But it makes sense because I get it. They haven't got the money to go and buy De Bruyne, Haaland. But if you look at the players they've lost, they lost Trossard. In comes Matoma. They lose Basuma.
Yeah.
And they've got Caicedo.
Yeah.
It's no accident this happens.
No.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.